We need an escape. There's a couple parties here. It's not looking too good. I think, what I'm thinking personally, I think we take Valkyrie's overview. Yeah? Cool. I think we take Valkyrie. Val! Yo, what? What? We got left!
Sorry, beautiful. It's not you. It's me.
Yeah. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Maverick here, and on today's video, we're going to be tackling Valkyrie. Valkyrie is insanely good. This guide will be covering everything from finishers all the way to gun loadouts, backpack management. You know the drill. You guys know the drill by now. I don't have to cover that for you. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. It's absolutely free. And it makes me cry every time I see my number go up by 1. I want to just shout out 5 of my new friends here. I've got Ghost MG, Najay Sora, Warcroft, Junior Eteen, and Nyber Gamings. I hope I said all of those right. If I didn't, let me know. But apart from that, let's get on to the video. So guys, Valkyrie is a great legend. I really enjoy Valkyrie. I find that she's very good in terms of pick rate and the amount of cool clips you see on like Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, Flappygram, whatever's left, is insanely good. She's very well used in the comp scene, in the unranked scene, which is kind of ranked scene at this point, because she's so well kitted out. Essentially, she has abilities that help her teammates, which you guys know I love. She's got abilities that help herself, which you also know that I love. So she's a very fun legend. Even from the start of the game, she can see where people are landing, so it can really help out in determining whether or not you want to hold base where you've landed or you want to skedaddle and go find somewhere else. Mid game, she can escape with you and your team, if they remember you of course, to a relocated area. This has saved me and got me hundreds of RP points off the bat by just that alone. Or she can, you know, jetpack around, get that verticality difference from her enemies, and just win the fights. It's an insane kit, and I love how well used Valkyrie is in Apex Legends. I want to just bring you guys to the finisher screen now. Now, this is a good one. Both of them are within about 0.03 seconds. So you can use whatever finisher you want. You will not notice a huge difference. For those people that find that I shouldn't be talking about finisher times because they're very negligible, I do find that split seconds can literally save you an Apex Legends. So I will always be covering finisher guides. I do chapters at the bottom so you can skip forward and pick which chapter you're interested in. But finishers, use whatever one you want. You know, use a legendary. They're both the same time. So first of all, I want to talk about her, her passive, her jets. Her tactical's good. I barely use it, but her passives is one of the best in the game. The jetpack is really good at getting those vertical high points to confuse the enemy and win those fights. I always say the reason why Octane, the reason why Pathfinder, and the reason why Valkyrie and people like Loba are really good is because they can get that high ground, that, you know, that verticality. I want to, you know, sound like a broken record here, but that will ensure that you win. If you can reposition yourself, you will probably win every FPS. That's a hot take of mine. Do you agree? Let me know. One thing I want to just say off the bat, when using her jetpack, do not fly up and then land on the top like that. Don't do that. Instead, what you're going to do, because this is going to save you from getting beamed when you land, is go directly up, and then you want to stop and then climb up. So you're not exactly, your gun is ready the second that you climb up, as opposed to when you land and then you've got to like take your gun out and like, again, like, just look at how quick this is. Easy. You want to do that. You want to vault up to allow yourself with the gun in hand, ready and you know, raring to go should there be enemies in front of you. I want to just show you here. I go up. 1, 2, there's 2 seconds where I'm fully head to toe open in case anyone misses my head and goes for my body. There's 2 seconds that someone can absolutely beam me down. You all know 2 seconds in Apex is pretty much a death sentence at this point. But then look at what happens when I go up and climb up. My head is available, then my chest, and then my gun is out. It's as simple as that. Please make sure you're using the jetpack in that way. One thing that I like doing with Valkyrie, especially if there's, you know, you're fighting in buildings, if you completely start going on top of the roof, shooting down, you can then go in the building, shoot as much as you want, and then you can get back onto the roof insanely quickly and you can shield up. If someone's chasing you, they've got to climb up the building. In that time it takes for them to do that, you can most likely get a shield cell off. But it's just always nice to know that you can just jetpack onto the roof for safety. Storm Point, Wells Edge, Olympus, not so much Kings Canyon. A lot of them have a lot of buildings and a lot of spread out areas. So if you can capitalize on that rooftop to in the building fighting and interchange between them both, you can really beat some enemies pretty easily. But I do also want to say that with her passive, whilst it's great, I would definitely not go inside buildings as Valkyrie if you're fighting. I would wait outside. Wait for them to leave, because her jetpack is, you know, when you move your kit inside, you're not only making it difficult to use your passive, your tactical is also a bit awkward, and then you don't have that escape if you find you need to with your ultimate. So with Valkyrie, I always tend to leave her outside of the buildings as opposed to kind of going in buildings and trying to get some kills. Another thing that's good as well is you can actually use your jetpacks when you get revived. So say you get revived and your teammate's like, hey, there's a team hard chasing you right now. You can jump out the ship and immediately jetpack away. You can escape with Valkyrie's jetpack as well, but it's not always good. So say for example, you know, I jetpack this way and then I'm trying to move. I'm really open. You know, I can change my flight modes, but at the end of the day, I'm flying through the air. I'm really open. I would definitely try to use it. Look at the map around you, duck in and out of cliffs and caves, and use hills to your advantage. But at the end of the day, using your jetpack to escape isn't always the best way, because you will just get beamed in the air. With that in mind, I would escape. I would do this, you know, try and get away, you know, use a little bit of slides, escape, use a little bit of slide and kind of get away. And you can keep the enemies on their toes, as they don't know which way you're going to be heading if you keep trying to bamboozle them. Whilst it's not always going to work, it's better than just going in a straight line. Another annoying thing about Valkyrie is the fact that she's actually got quite a large hitbox. I assume it's because she can fly. She has a very large hitbox, so be very careful when, you know, flying through the air and using your ultimate, because it's actually quite easy to hit Valkyrie, especially when she's using her ultimate and, you know, going up in the air. Now this next tip does work, but it feels like it only really works in the kind of unranked and the lower ranked games. Is to use your jetpack to escape from the enemies if you're in a fight. So say for example, you're fighting, you're shooting, they're hard chasing you and you're running away. You can always jump off and then jetpack your way round and then come back up and escape. And they think that you've left, they think that you've ran. Whilst that's not always going to work, because then you're just jetpacking up to where they are if they're chasing you. A good way that I would say to use it is somewhere like, if I take us over here, is essentially say I leave this way, I then let it go a long while and then I'll jetpack. So people really think I've jumped off, and they will follow you if they're hungry, like most Apex Legends players are. Don't really jump to the same place that you came from, but definitely like loop round and see if you can get to a cliff edge or a building, stuff like that. And my final tip for her passive jets is to always use your jetpack just before hitting the ground, as you will, you know, negate that cripple effect that you have when you just land and you fall and you kind of like take a little like a knee. But if you use it just before you go down, you will not have that kind of hard hitting ground and you'll be able to run and slide away. Also try and use your slides whilst using her jetpacks, as you can get some nice boosts as well to kind of get you away from enemies should they need to. Valkyrie's other passive is the ability to scan for enemies when she's coming out of jump tower, you know, coming out of a ultimate. She can see where people are with a little green box. Whilst that's really good, definitely use it in the late games. I like using an ultimate accelerant to continue to use my ultimate in those final circles, so you can get kind of a gist for the battlefield and kind of see what's going on and see where, you know, where teams are. So that's her other passive that's alongside her jetpacks. On to her tactical. Now I did say I'm not a massive fan of her tactical. In my honest opinion, I think it's a bit lackluster, but I think that may be because her passive and her ultimate are pretty good. So with her tactical, you will take out your rockets and you will put down a 3x3 square of rocket barrages. Now, it is good. It is good. You can see right there, it will go down and hit the floor. If there's an enemy in that radius, they will get slowed, stunned, and obviously damaged as well. The only really ways I use this and use it well is when I am keeping, you know, my attention on someone behind a rock, behind a building, and I don't want to push them, but I want to keep damaging them, keep reminding them that I'm there, I'm watching, I'm ready, and just every time it comes off cooldown, I want to be using that again and again. That's one of the only ways I kind of use Valkyrie's Q, her tactical, but let's just go through a couple of tips and tricks for you just in case. Try to avoid using it inside buildings because it can be quite awkward. As you can see, it doesn't really work that well. You can end up confusing your teammates if there's a lot of smoke, a lot of missiles, and you'll probably hit yourself as well. So I would say try to avoid using it inside a building unless you're in complete panic mode. When taking out her tactical, you will not be able to put that away unless you use your jetpack. So there's no way you can put it away. You can't try and change gun, you can't try and take out grenades. The only way that you can do it is if you use your jetpacks to put them away. That's the only way you can do it. You can also use your rockets whilst you're sliding, whilst you're running as well. You're running, you can take them out. You can also use it if you're sliding. You can also then take your rockets out as well, like so, and then you can use that as well to kind of clear enemies that are chasing you, or clear enemies that are to your right, to your left, and you're just trying to hot tail it away. If you're escaping from the enemy, you're sliding down one of the hills in Storm Point, you can use your Q to stop the enemies from chasing you and maybe slow them down. So say for example I'm sliding, you can do your Q there and you can see what it is, and then you can continue to move, and it's a very good chance, if you're good with it, you can hit the enemies and kind of keep them at bay. Both Valkyrie's tactical and jetpack can be used on a zip line. So if you use the zip line, you can take out your Q, you can jump, you can jetpack away, you can get back on, or you can get back on and off, and you can jump around and, you know, confuse the enemy. It's really annoying in the World's Edge streamer building is what I call it, over in Fragment East, going up and down and confusing the enemy on the zipline with your ultimate, because it can throw off the rhythm a little bit. Let's talk about Valkyrie's creme de la creme, the incredible ability Skyward Dive. It's one of my favorite abilities in the game because of the power that it has. It can get you out of fights, it can get you into fights, it can relocate you from bad positions, it can get you in the circle, it can find enemies, it can track them down, it can chase them. It is a great ability and it's so diverse. So with that being said, my first tip is carry an ultimate accelerant at all times. You never know when you're going to need to pop that and when you're going to need to get out, okay? You hear a Revenant ultimate, you hear a Octane jump pad, Z, Q, Skyward Dive, straight out. So when using her ultimate, I would always say go first. Say I want to land over here, over where that waypoint is, that location. My team can break off, but always let me go first, because I can see where the enemies are with those passive abilities, with those green boxes. I can see where they are. So always, when taking a jump tower, just always go on your own first. Always go first. Always make sure your team know, just so you can see where the enemies are and you're not just flying yourself into some trouble. Another good way to use Valkyrie's ultimate is to use it in synergy with Bangle or Smoke, use it in synergy with Gibraltar's shield. Covering yourself up so you can get the hell out of there is a very good tip. If you get shot at when you're in this pose on screen, you will stop and your ultimate will be moved down to, I think it's 78% or 79%, and you have to wait for that to recharge. So always make sure. You can even do an Octane jump pad where you throw down a jump pad and then you get away and then immediately use your Z to escape. If you turn it off, as you can see just there, it goes down to 75%. So that's probably what happens when you get shot at. You have to then recharge it from 75% onwards. This is also a great tip that not many people know. It would surprise you how many times that people have been in stream been like, oh, you can do that. You can actually, you know, click her ultimate, and you can do these with every legend, and you can hit it.
Ultimate's ready.
And it will tell you, it will tell the team that you're ready to go. I use this as a way to tell my team that I want to go right now. So if I'm running away and I'm, you know, and I'm shooting and I'm ducking and diving, ping over here, fly over, hit this. So they know exactly what I want to do. I go here, bish bash boom, they all join, and then I burn and boost up. That covers all of Valkyrie's abilities. As I said, her abilities are so good. They work in tandem really well. So obviously jetpack, you can still use your tactical. When you're in your ultimate, you can still use your passive and see where the enemies are in those little green boxes. Her abilities help the team. Her abilities help herself. She's a really well-rounded legend, and she's, you know, found herself very comfortably in a lot of S tiers that I've seen on YouTube. So Valkyrie's a great legend, and I hope those abilities can kind of help you forge the Valkyrie player that you're going to become. Right, let's talk gun loadouts. Shotguns. I don't really use shotguns as Valkyrie. I'm a shotgun guy. I don't really use shotguns as Valkyrie because I like to keep that mid to long range. So shotguns for me are out the question. If you want to get up close and personal, you can. But as I said earlier, I don't use shotguns as Valkyrie. As I said earlier, not because I don't use shotguns for Valkyrie. As I said earlier, I don't go in buildings as Valkyrie. I try and stay outside. I try and keep that mid to long range purely so that I can jetpack away should I need to and the fight doesn't go my way. So for me personally, shotguns are out of the question. I love using snipers as Valkyrie. I really enjoy the longbow. Charge rifle Charlies, get the hell out of here. I don't even want you watching this video, okay? So, longbows are really good with the Valkyrie. I find the ability to use it quickly up close, like medium range, I mean, and also long range. The Sentinel's a little bit unforgiving. You get one bullet, then you got to, you know, completely reload and kind of cock it back again. The longbow, you can kind of you can use it medium if you grab a 3x scope and then go between medium and long range. So the longbow is great as a sniper rifle for Valkyrie, as you're going to be going from medium to long range. Guns, again, you don't really want to be using the P2020, the alternator, the RE45, even the R99 at a push, because you're going to be wanting to keep that medium to long range. So the R301 will be your go-to. The R99 is good. I would recommend the car over the R99. But with that being said, let's go take a look at the heavy weapons. As I said, the car is going to be your go-to. The Rampage is also good. 30-30, if you can use it, it's still a garbage gun, so don't. The Wingman is always the one. The Spitfire, not the Prowler. The Prowler again is a short range gun, so you don't want that. The Spitfire, the Flatliner, your goes to. Hemlock I can't use, so I'm never going to recommend that. So personally, if I had to pick, I'd pick the Flatline and the car. Energy weapons, you guys know I love the triple take. I love the triple take because you can use it short, medium, and long range, and you're going to be changing a lot between those really quickly. The Devotion is good, but you need a ton of energy ammo, and the Havoc is really good because you've got you need a ton of energy ammo. So I always find that quite hard to find. I think that's all the energy guns. I can't see any other energy guns apart from those three. So that's the gun loadout. As I said, you're going to be going from short, medium, and long range. You're going to be using them and interchanging between your abilities in each one. So you're going to want to stick to those medium to long range guns. Right, let's talk backpack management. Now, this is my go-to as a Valkyrie. I'm using a blue bag because I always find that with these guides, you're not always going to have purple, but blues are quite common to find. So we're going to be focusing on the blue backpack for this. As you can see here, the longbow, the R301, because I like those mid to kind of, you know, long range fights. Sniper bullets, R301 bullets, Phoenix kit, shield bats, and med kits. The reason why I prefer those is because in fights, you have the ability to get out very quickly. So you have the ability to get out whilst your team is still fighting, shield up, and then you head back in. So I like to carry all those three. The big one is the ultimate accelerant. As I said to you guys, always please use the ultimate accelerant. Always, always, always. If for whatever reason you find yourself without an ultimate accelerant, but you've got this loadout and you see one on the floor, always drop it. Use it. Not use your ultimate, use the ultimate accelerant, sorry. Use the ultimate accelerant and then pick up the ability that you had. 10 seconds to use an ultimate accelerant when you need to, to escape is worth stopping for 5 to 6 seconds to pick up an ultimate accelerant, use it, and then be on with your way. So I would always say ultimate accelerant is your one. 4 shield cells, 4 syringes. I don't carry too many shield cells and syringes purely because I prefer bats, I prefer medkits, and you can find cells and syringes pretty much everywhere. I carry 1 arc star because you never know when you're going to need a grenade. I prefer the arc star to the other 3. And then the final one is the 3x scope. Now let me show you why I prefer the 3x scope. So say for example, I'm all the way over here and I'm shooting down and I'm shooting over here, bish bash bosh, I've hit every target, I'm an apex predator, and then I move down, but there's another person's over here. You know, I can completely change and then go to that kind of mid-range fights. But the other good thing is, say my R301 is kind of, close to medium range and I'm shooting them as well, but I also then need to shoot far away. I can literally just move to the 3x on the R301. So that's why I go for those. That's my backpack loadout. If there's anything you don't agree with, please let me know. Ultimate accelerants, people argue with me on, but trust me, my life has been saved because of ultimate accelerants so many times. But guys, that wraps up the Valkyrie guide. So let's jump into a game together and I'll give you my thought process as I'm playing it. And you can see how I play Valkyrie from kind of start to finish. So there's two teams on the other side. Hopefully our teammate can get over here. He was AFK, of course, like everyone else in this game. Playing Valkyrie definitely requires a level of map knowledge. So you know where to jump, where to fly up, and grab the next bit of gear. By the time I get over there, I'll have my ultimate back. There's one down. He's been watching the guides. I didn't say you can revive. And that's how we do it. Basically, I knew I wanted to push that. You know, it's early game, it's unranked. I want to get a little bit of wind in my sails. And I can do that by getting an early win. And I knew that they were going to be fighting, having a bad time. And I could come in there and just completely destroy. Whoa, they hit me like a truck. They hit me like a truck. My lord, they were ready for that. Try and definitely not get in that mess.
Cracked shields on that bandit. Slash one, bogey down.
Go for the rest because I've got a gold bag. Oh, there's another seaman. Yeah, nah, he didn't have that. No faith. That showed off quite a nice game, to be honest. I feel like looking at my team right now, there could have been a little bit more that they could have done. Pushing up, that was not the play. I was able to get out of there. My teammates did actually decide to push on, and I would not have recommended that. So hopefully you guys have now seen how I would operate Valkyrie in a game. We've covered loadouts. We've covered everything else. Guys, if you've made it this far, I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. It means the world to me. Please let me know in the comments if you enjoyed the video, what you'd fix. And I hope you have a great time learning Valkyrie and mastering Valkyrie and becoming the best Valkyrie you can become. And on to the next video. I'll see you later.